Hey folks, welcome back. We're looking at Frankenstein. This is the fourth and I think the last of an introductory discussion about the novel. Today we're going to look at the title page, in particular the title and the epigraph on the title page. Keep in mind as we're looking at Frankenstein, we're doing this to analyze literature. And here are the 5 points I've mentioned to you in the past that you try to do in doing literary analysis. Make an interpretive claim that's debatable, support it with evidence from the novel, not just summary, but brief quotes. Argue for a thesis about the novel, something related to it, and explore the complexity of the novel itself. Find something that's not everyone's going to agree on, something that's confusing, something that's in the gray area. You want to explore complexity. So today we're going to look at the title page. Here is the title page from the 1818 publication. Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus in 3 volumes. There's a quote or an epigraph from Paradise Lost, which is actually Adam speaking to God after the fall. Did I request thee, Maker, from my clay to mold me, man? Did I solicit thee from darkness to promote me? Mary Shelley was a great reader. I've mentioned this before. I'm going to mention it again. She really read a lot. By the time she writes this book, she's a teenager and she has read so much, and she's read hard stuff. She's read widely. She is a great reader, and her reading absolutely is going to affect her writing. Our reading always affects our writing, which is if you want to improve as a writer, you really should read and read a lot and read widely and read for fun and read to challenge yourself and all that stuff. Reading itself is going to affect her characters too. Robert Walton, for instance, one of our main narrators, right? So why is he on this trip to find the Northeast Passage? Why is he journeying to the North Pole? In part because of adventure books he read in his uncle's library as a kid. Victor Frankenstein, he's a big time reader too, right? I mean, he may have moved away from, as you'll read once you get into the book, he may have moved away from the alchemists, Agrippa, Magnus, and so on, but very much books are very much a part of the novel. So read Mary Shelley as a reader, and the characters in the book as readers. That's pretty important. When you look here on the title page, you see 2 of the many literary influences. You have mythology and you have Milton. You have John Milton. Titles, title pages, titles, epigraphs, they can be significant for understanding a novel. So what does the word Frankenstein mean? It means Stone of the Franks. Here's a picture. This is Frankenstein Castle. I don't think Mary Shelley ever saw this. I don't know that it ever influenced her. I don't have a clue. She, if I'm remembering this correctly, she came within, I don't know, a few miles of seeing this when she was on a trip through Europe before she wrote the book. Maybe she heard the name, maybe not. Anyhow, I've given you a link to the source that cannot be named below if you want to look at a little bit more about that. But Stone of the Franks, just kind of interesting. More importantly for our purposes is what she tells us on this page. So she calls Frankenstein the modern Prometheus. So that's the subtitle, and that is something that we should really think about. If she chose that as a subtitle, that's a big prominent position. We should consider it. And also, she chose this epigraph. She didn't have to have an epigraph, but she did. And so what can we get out of it that she chose those 2 things? So let's think about those really quickly. So one, the story Prometheus. In the PowerPoint slides, you'll be able to click on this other YouTube link and see a very brief depiction of the story of Prometheus. There's more than one story about Prometheus. Greek mythology is a variety of myths about all these characters, but Prometheus creates man. He creates man from clay, and he steals fire for man, and as a result, he gets in a lot of trouble, and the gods send an eagle to eat his liver every particular day. No, that slide is not supposed to be in here. That is our beloved Carson Newman Talon, and he would never go and eat someone else's liver. But other eagles aren't as kind. So here is an eagle coming down to swoop down on poor Prometheus, who's been chained up, and to go through this punishment every single day. So Mary Shelley wants you to look at Frankenstein, something about this novel. It's Frankenstein or the modern Prometheus. There's a connection she wants us to make. All right, second thing on that title page is the epigraph. An epigraph is just a quotation, a phrase, a poem, something that an author puts at the very beginning. When you look at when you look at Frankenstein, you see that she is quoting from Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is Milton's retelling of Genesis 1 through 3. It's spectacular. I read it several years ago. It's dense, but it's so worth your time. If you want to do something like that, read it. And it really influences the way a lot of people think about the Genesis account. And Milton's retelling, Satan gets a lot of page time. And for some, he's the most compelling character in the poem, to be honest with you. Here's some beautiful art from the 19th century depicting elements of Paradise Lost, which is the story in Milton's retelling of the angels going against God, and those that went against God, led by Satan, they get cast down to hell, and eventually, you should just look at these images up. They're really cool. Eventually, they're going to go and Satan's going to go and tempt Adam to the fall of mankind. And so, but interesting, though Satan plays a prominent role in the poem, Mary Shelley here uses words from Adam for her epigraph, and it's Adam after the fall. And I just want to read to you that one more time. He says, "Did I request thee, Maker, from my clay to mold me, man? Did I solicit thee from darkness to promote me?" So it's really telling, right? That it's Adam, and it's Adam expressing a complaint, and it's Adam expressing a complaint to his creator. That's the epigraph that she chooses. So as you read through the story, think about how the story of Prometheus and Milton's epic affect Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. In Prometheus, a creator is punished. All right? And in the epigraph, the created complains. What you have then is a devastated creator, a devastated creation. Watch for those themes in the novel. Y'all have a good one. Bye.